time to predict week 10 of the Premier League. And it's not just going to be me, I'm going to be predicting against ChatGPT and the Random Football Scoreline Generator. And last week predictions, I actually lost. I got 3 points. ChatGPT and the Random Football Scoreline Generator got 5 points. But I'm still winning overall by a point to ChatGPT. There are some crazy games to get into. So, let's get predicting. Starting off with a London derby between Crystal Palace and Brentford, and the Random Football Scoreline Generator, which is here, what it predicted, 5-5. I programmed these scorelines to be realistic in the Random Football Scoreline Generator, but 5-5 is not realistic, unless it can actually happen. A draw can happen, but I don't know about 5-5. Crystal Palace lost against Arsenal in another London derby last time out, but after losing against Arsenal, thrashed Liverpool 3-0. They are going for that Carabao Cup trophy because they put up a pretty strong team, whilst Liverpool put up a bit of a weak team. But against Brentford, it's going to be tougher than I originally thought, because I actually have underestimated Brentford loads this season. Kevin Schade, Igor Thiago, Dango Otara, Damsgaard, all of those players in the attack there are really working well together. Like, that is a really threatening attack. And surprisingly, they're not doing too bad, Brentford. But Crystal Palace, they are better than Brentford. I still feel like Brentford are not out of trouble in terms of being relegated. There is still a chance, whilst Crystal Palace, they're definitely not. At Selhurst Park, they have been doing fantastic all season. Even when they lose, they still don't look half bad. Against Arsenal, it was a very close game. So I'm going 2-1 to Crystal Palace. They are the better side, and I'm going for Pino and Mateta to score. Crystal Palace, you're going to thrive at Selhurst.
Palace have been solid at home, but still struggle to finish chances. So I'm saying 1-1, because Brentford's form and direct play should grab them a point.
Keeping with the 3 PM Saturday kickoffs at the City Ground, it's Nottingham Forest versus Manchester United. And Manchester United, congratulations, because you are playing well. I never thought I could say that, but the last 3 games, you've won them all. And you've got no distractions whatsoever. You're only focused on the Premier League. And it's working. And your signings that you made in the summer, like Brian Mbeumo and Mateus Cunha, are actually cooking. Winning 4-2 against Brighton. That is brilliant. Even Casemiro got on the score sheet. So, Manchester United, you are not losing this. But, could there be a slight upset of a draw? Nottingham Forest, now Sean Dyche is their manager. Could that change things? Well, Sean Dyche started off with a 2-0 home win against Porto. A pretty decently close game, but it was deserved to Nottingham Forest. Then they faced Bournemouth, which is a really hard game. Considering Bournemouth are now second in the Premier League, it was understandable why they lost. And also they were away from home. But now Sean Dyche under Nottingham Forest for his first home Premier League game, there could be. I'm still not certain that Manchester United are going to be able to keep up this consistency. There's still a bit of doubt in me. Because last season, I'm sure something similar happened where it looked like Manchester United were getting the flow of things and then it kind of just stopped. But to be honest, they have won 4 of the last 5. Exclude the 3-1 Brentford loss, and it's even more impressive on how many wins they're actually getting. And they're 6th place Manchester United. That's crazy. I feel like what's going to happen, it's going to be reasonably low scoring. Sean Dyche is going to try and defend, because Nottingham Forest had the likes of Murillo and Milinkovic, which are great defenders. They proved it last season. And even Neco Williams, he did really well against Porto. So I feel like they're going to defend Nottingham Forest, and they're going to be able to get a 1-1 draw. There will be late drama, and I think it will be Man United equalising late on. I'm going for an upset, but hear me out. No, I do not feel like Man United are going to play terrible in this game. Man United are going to play fantastic. They're going to link up really well, but under Sean Dyche, he's going to have to turn things around. And unlike Ange Postecoglou, Nottingham Forest under Sean Dyche has actually already got a win, when Ange never got a win. So already that is a positive for Nottingham Forest. But I am feeling like Man United could easily just win really late on as well. And I'm tempted to go 2-1 to Man United, but I can't.
Forest have energy, but not the structure to stop United's pace. I'm going 2-1 to Manchester United. United are just too clinical on the break recently.
Over to Turf Moor, Burnley versus the Gunners. The Gunners are going to win. 2-0, decently comfortable. Burnley, well done. Late drama again. Every single game almost is late drama, late drama, late drama. Well done Burnley for winning against last place Wolves. But now you go and play the complete opposite of Wolves. Arsenal, who are first by 4 points. And Arsenal are beating everyone. And really no team can really score against them. So if the likes of Crystal Palace, Atletico Madrid can't score past Arsenal, I don't see how Burnley are. 2-0 Arsenal. Arsenal are unstoppable.
Burnley's defence is far too open for a team like Arsenal. 2-0 feels right to the Gunners. Arsenal should dominate without much trouble.
Over to the Amex Stadium. Seagulls versus Peacocks. It's going to be a close game. Leeds United have done really well throughout the entire season. And looking at their injury list, I think they will have no unavailable players going against Brighton. And if Goodmanson is fit, which he probably is, going against Yankuba Minter is going to be tough. But I think Goodmanson has shown good defensive qualities this season for Leeds United. And he's been a really good signing and replacement for Gini Firpo. And I think he is good enough to stop the likes of Yankuba Minter, or at least tone the effects of Yankuba Minter down to a minimum, so he doesn't affect the game too much. And Brighton have not looked perfect. They've just lost 4-2 against Manchester United. And I felt like near the end there, yet again, late drama, 2 late goals. It felt like Brighton were going to go on a comeback, but evidently it didn't. But Man United are playing very well. So it's understandable why they lost. And it's also understandable why in the Carabao Cup, Brighton also lost, because they faced first place Arsenal. And if you go past the last Premier League game and that Carabao Cup game against Arsenal, Brighton won against Newcastle. Yes, they drew to Wolves, but they did well to equalise late on. They won against Chelsea. This season, they have also beat Manchester City. And I still feel like, now with Mitoma returning from injury, Brighton have enough attacking threat at home as well to beat Leeds United. I expect Brighton, the quality side that they have, and how well run Brighton are, I expect them to be up there in 7th or so position. And they're currently in 13th. So this is a really, really must-win game. And I think they can do it at home against Leeds United. I think it will be close, with the likes of Belieber controlling the midfield. And with Leeds throughout the season, even when dominating the shots and possession, they seem to still not be able to score many goals. And that's going to be their downside again. And also because they're facing a Brighton side which I think look really good and have shown brilliant signs this season. So it's going to be very close. And right now on my Excel spreadsheet, I have it 1-1. So this is only a late minute change to 2-1. Very late minute to Brighton. But Leeds United, you did well to beat West Ham United. But again, that's West Ham. Anyone could beat West Ham at the moment. And with you going away from home, I do find it hard to not go to Brighton.
Brighton versus Leeds United. Leeds love to attack, but that leaves them exposed. And Brighton at home always punish that. I'm saying 3-1 to Brighton and Hove Albion. Confident win.
Over to Craven Cottage. It's Fulham versus Wolves. And I am going to go 2-1 to Fulham. It's going to be close because both these sides have not scored many this season. So it's obviously going to be close and decently low scoring. But I'm going Fulham. Number 1, they're home. Number 2, they've actually won games this season. They've won 2. And they should be much higher up the table because they have a considerably better side than Wolves. I'm sorry, Wolves. You lost 3-2 to Burnley. I do like Bellegarde. He did some amazing stuff to get an assist of the assist in that Burnley game. His dribbling and ball control, that was a brilliant move in the last game against Burnley. But that's one player that's really shining. You need more. And one of your goals came from a penalty from Strand Larsen. So it's not exactly impressive losing 3-2 to Burnley. So Fulham, you're finally going to be able to get back on winning form. 100%. I mean, Wolves, they were unlucky to also lose 4-3 against Chelsea in the cup. They really did fight, but they still conceded 4 goals. So, sorry Wolves, I cannot see it.
Fulham versus Wolves. Fulham press high and Wolves keep wasting chances. I'm calling it 2-0 to Fulham. Comfortable and controlled.
London derby. Biggest game of the week? Probably. Tottenham Hotspur, sack of potatoes, versus Chelsea. Now Chelsea, no Cole Palmer still. You have 6 unavailable players, whilst Tottenham have 8 unavailable players coming into this game. And Tottenham, you did very well to stop Everton's great record, their unbeaten record at the Hill Dickinson Stadium. Winning 3-0 is a statement win at the Hill Dickinson. But you then went to lose 2-0 against Newcastle. And Newcastle deserved that win. Even though you did have a few bursts of excitement now and again, overall, I felt like sometimes it was a bit too easy for Newcastle. But bearing in mind, they did have 11 unavailable players, Tottenham. And they were playing Pauhina in centre-back, which is not his natural position. But in this game, 3 players should be returning for Tottenham. And honestly, I'm tempted to go Tottenham, but Chelsea are also good. They score loads of goals, so I'm going for a Desmond Tutu. Chelsea are inconsistent. That's the problem. And they've got a real issue with red cards, don't they? They've got like 6 red cards in all competitions. 6. That is crazy. And what makes it even worse is it's in quick succession. Almost every game they're getting a red card. They got one against Wolves in the cup. It's gonna be close. I cannot split it because of Chelsea's inconsistency. Both teams have a fair share of unavailable players. It's gonna be tough to split it, but both teams can score. So Desmond Tutu.
Tottenham Hotspur versus Chelsea. Spurs at home always raise the tempo, but Chelsea's inconsistency kills them. 2-1 to Spurs feels spot on. It'll be a close and deserved win.
To Anfield, and it is Liverpool versus Aston Villa. I don't know what to go for this game. I'm tempted for a draw, but do I want to sit on the fence? Because Liverpool, they are evidently not doing very well. Everyone knows that. It's easy to say that. But it's true. Just lost 3-0 against Crystal Palace, lost 3-2 against Brentford, and in the Brentford game, oof. Defence looked all over the place at times. Sloppy, not really much determination by Konate, and overall, not amazing. Whilst Aston Villa, yes, did lose 2-1 in the Europa League, but they went on to win 1-0 against Man City. Wow. But surely, the thing is, it feels that there's a huge contrast. Aston Villa started off the season bad and now is starting to have good results, while Liverpool got good results and started to have bad results. But really, even when Liverpool were having good results, they still looked meh, at least under par for Liverpool. So Aston Villa are doing really well. Liverpool are stinking out the gaff. So go for Aston Villa. No. Liverpool have lost 4 games in a row. And if you see against Crystal Palace, I looked at their lineup and I'm confuzzled. They completely changed the formation. They did 5 at the back, the same as Crystal Palace to match them. They played loads of players, like no Van Dijk, no Salah, no Gakpo. All their starting 11 players, Arne Slot was resting. Even though I disagree from that move, they should have tried much harder against Crystal Palace, because the Carabao Cup may be the only thing Liverpool can win this season at this rate, but still, maybe it's going to work, and I think it will. Resting those players, evidently Arne Slot thinks if he rests all his starting 11 players and he just doesn't care about the Carabao Cup, they will go on and get back on winning form against Aston Villa. That's why I think Liverpool are going to win this 3-1. Aston Villa, I'm not trying to say you're a terrible team. You're not. If you were logical going into this game, you would go for Aston Villa. The majority surely would go Aston Villa, but I'm not, because resting your starting 11 is going to be key for winning this game. 3-1. Trust me, Liverpool cannot keep on losing. They spent hundreds and hundreds of millions. Surely that's going to pay off. It's not going to carry on like this. They're going to bounce back. I mean, they've already shown they can score loads of goals against a good team in Frankfurt. So why can't they do it again? I'm going to look like an absolute mug when Aston Villa wins this 5-3.
Liverpool versus Aston Villa. Both sides full of goals. Neither defending well right now. I'll say 2-2 because this one's got chaos written all over it.
Over to the London Stadium, West Ham United versus Newcastle United. I'm going to say 4-0 to Newcastle United. Let's go for it. I am a Newcastle United fan. Make that what you will. But, you know, Newcastle, yes, they haven't won away from home for 6 months in the Premier League. It doesn't matter. Newcastle have proved they can win away from home, like against Union SG in the Champions League. And after watching a fantastic game against Spuds in the Carabao Cup, winning 2-0, with Nick Voltemade scoring again, it's just Newcastle are unstoppable. While West Ham have loads of defensive problems, like set pieces, they're terrible at defending them. They conceded one against Leeds. It was awful. Any form of cross into the box, anything with aerial duels, West Ham are going to struggle. So Nick Voltemade, I think, can get a brace in this. And I'm going 4-0. And with Anthony Gordon, yes, I don't think he's been that good this season. Recently, he has started to pick up some good form and is starting to get some good goal contributions, and not just that, actually affect the game really well by playing good football. So 4-0 Newcastle, definitely.
West Ham United versus Newcastle United. Newcastle looks sharp again, and West Ham can't keep anyone out. 3-0 to Newcastle United. A dominant away performance.
Over to another big game. Manchester City versus Bournemouth at the Etihad. Now, I'm going to go low scoring in this game because Man City, I think, have a bit of a problem. They lost 1-0 to Aston Villa and they rely too much on Erling Haaland because he is their only goal scorer, it feels like. And that's really good because he is the best striker in the world. So that is very good to have. But if he gets injured, you're in trouble. Unless all the other players magically step up to the podium. And when you're facing Bournemouth, which are second, which are above Manchester City, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to go for a Man City win. I'm not going to. I'm going to go for a draw, 1-1. Manchester City, I could imagine maybe an Erling Haaland goal, but if he doesn't score again, I feel like maybe Phil Foden can get a nice composed finish. Someone else other than Haaland is going to have to start scoring alongside Haaland. But Bournemouth, Junior Krupi, the French teenager, is balling. That adds even more quality to Bournemouth. He scored like 3 goals in the Premier League in a week. That's bonkers. Scored another against Nottingham Forest. That's another player. They've got Semenyo, which is scoring like crazy. Evanilson is injured, by the way. So that means they've got even more quality yet to come. They've got Tavernier, which scored directly from a corner, which is bonkers. Even though it probably should have been a goal kick. But still, Bournemouth are really cooking. And I was wrong for them to go for them to draw against Nottingham Forest. I should have went for them to win. I was stupid to do that. But this time, Man City is definitely a different kettle of fish to Nottingham Forest. So it's going to be tough. Both sides are in very similar positions in the league table, so I think a draw is fair.
City aren't quite firing yet, and Bournemouth's belief is growing. I'm saying 1-1. Bit of a shocker at the Etihad.
Over to the Monday kickoff. It's Sunderland at the Stadium of Light facing Everton. Everton, you lost at the Hill Dickinson Stadium 3-0. I don't think you played terrible. There were definitely some good attacking opportunities, but you move on. And now you're facing Sunderland, which are in 4th. And Everton, you're in 14th. I think it's still going to be a close game though, because even though Sunderland are in 4th, we all know they're newly promoted. We all know they are not perfect. And we all know that they probably won't finish in 4th. I'm sorry, Sunderland fan. In fact, no, I'm not sorry. It's the truth, Sunderland. You are definitely going to fall down the table, and I think you're going to drop points even at home. Because Iliman Ndiaye, he looks electric. He's got some skill. He's got some flair. He's exciting. He's one of the really exciting players in the Premier League. Jack Grealish, his calf muscles is literally going to make Everton not lose this game. It's going to be a Desmond Tutu. There we go. I cannot split the sides. Even though Sunderland at home, even though they've still got really good form, Everton, they can surprise you now and again. They are a very good team. Even though they lost 3-0 to Tottenham, they are still playing well.
Everton look flat, and Sunderland's home fans make the Stadium of Light electric. 2-0 to the home side Sunderland. The promoted side takes it.
To goal of the week, I'm giving it to the young teenager, Junior Krupi. He's on fire, and Bournemouth are on fire, and that goal is fire. What do you think of all our predictions? Am I an absolute mug for saying Liverpool are going to win? Because I'm kind of regretting saying that now. Let me know in the comments. But for now, toodaloo.